What is going on, people? We are back with Rubber Chickens and Scabs with Fletch and Grizz. What is going on, folks? How's it going, Grizz?
Pretty good, man. How you been doing?
Surviving. We've been dealing with a little bit of kid sickness in the house here. It's been ongoing since early, just before our Thanksgiving. So like fucking a month, good month. Yeah, so we'll get into more about that. I've got some fucking stories to tell, of course. But how you been, man? You had your big move. You're now into your new place?
Yes, we're here in the new house now. And this is Ollie's room, of course. He's got the biggest room in the basement because he's spoiled, and that's what we do. Because my studio is still just packed wall to wall with instruments and lighting and stands and everything else right now. So hopefully I'm going to get to that this coming week. I was going to get to it this week, but then I remembered that we had 4 Thanksgivings we had to do.
Yeah. You guys definitely like go all out for Thanksgiving down there. Like you guys make an entire fucking week of it. Up here we get like 1, maybe 2 fucking days on a long weekend. You guys like seems like your fucking country shuts down for a fucking week because you guys are like, hey man, football and fucking turkey.
It's so ridiculous. The only reason we just like, because we get together with our kids. We do our own Thanksgiving the Sunday before, so it's just my family, our kids, my son and his family. Right. That way because then we got to go run and we got to do my mom's side or my parents in the morning on Thanksgiving. Then we do her family in the afternoon on Thanksgiving. And then this year, for the first time in years, we had to do my mom's side of the family on Friday. So we actually had 4 Thanksgivings this year. And I don't even care for the holiday, especially considering my family is like 1/8 Cherokee. So like celebrating Thanksgiving, especially that side of the family getting together just seems a little awkward at this point. And maybe we just do our own Thanksgiving on Sunday, so we have all the leftovers. So by the time actual Thanksgiving rolls around, I'm so sick of turkey and stuffing. I don't eat shit except desserts.
When my wife and I first started dating, she was into like big time into making grilled wraps, right? And she would take like leftover like turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes, and she would wrap one of those motherfuckers up and she would grill it, and oh my god, man, Thanksgiving dinner in a wrap.
See, we always were raised with the leftovers, making leftover sandwiches, and usually just cold out of the fridge, not even like warmed up. So you'd have cold turkey, cold stuffing, mashed potatoes, congealed gravy, and then a slice of cranberry sauce on top. It's got to be that holds the shape of the can.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think I've ever seen cranberry sauce not in the shape of a can.
Oh, see, I've seen when people try to get fancy with it. No, don't get fancy with the cranberry sauce, man.
Oh, man. And then, like, green bean salad. Like, what the fuck is that?
See, I love it, but this year we actually screwed up our green bean salad. I was so disappointed. The problem was we used good green beans that I had were from my mom's garden that I had blanched and put in the freezer. So we used good green beans instead of canned ones, and then instead of the condensed mushroom soup, we used our homemade cream of condensed mushroom soup that we'd made from puffball mushrooms from my buddy's farm. Right. And the problem was it's not supposed to taste good. It's supposed to taste like the cans that the stuff came in. And we realized when you're making casserole, you can't use fresh ingredients. You got to use the nasty canned stuff or it just doesn't come out right.
Recipes, man, passed down through generations. It's got to have that tinny can taste.
Yeah, off the back of the can is where all those recipes came from, too.
That's true. It's true.
You got to give a big shout out to my son's roommate, Sam. She brought over for Sunday Thanksgiving. She brought over 2 gluten-free desserts. My wife doesn't do gluten. So she made the gluten-free Oreo truffle balls. And then she made me this freaking Reese's peanut butter pie, it's called. It's basically a Reese's peanut butter cup like the size of a hubcap.
Uh,
It's like you cut into it, like it's got the thick chocolate on top, and then the crust was an Oreo cookie crust, but the filling was just straight up like the inside of a Reese's Big Cup, but it was like that thick.
oh
And,
man, I'm salivating here.
and apparently, and I'm going to hold her to it. I'm talking about it here. She said she's making me one for Christmas, and I'm not sharing that one.
All right, all right. We're gonna hold you to that. And if you want to ship one up to Canada, I think you can get it across the border. I'm just saying.
I'll think about that.
Think about it. So,
Oh,
your
first,
your
before we get
oh
into our movie comparison,
oh
I
yeah
gotta
yeah
talk about Snoop Dogg.
yeah.
Because as a marketing guy and a guy going to get my degree in digital marketing and who's loved marketing since I was a kid, what I don't know if anybody heard about what Snoop. I'm sure everybody heard last week, like it was Friday or Saturday. He announced he's done with smoke, and he said, "Please leave me alone to leave me to my privacy right now." And the dude dipped off social media for 5 fucking days, and then he pops up, and the first thing he posts is an advertisement for a smokeless fire pit he's the spokesman for. I can't believe. Can you imagine what they had to pay him?
Yeah,
Can you
yeah,
imagine what they had to pay him for that freaking 30-second spot? Because
yeah.
he's shutting down his own brand for 5 days. And Snoop is a brand, and it is
Oh
closely
yeah.
associated with smoke. I mean, he's got his own marijuana brand. He's got all the accessories, everything like that. So can you imagine what his camp must have been thinking? Like, they're like, oh,
Oh
crap, it's Snoop Lion all over again.
yeah. Well, and on this topic, I saw this meme which was it was hilarious. It's um it would only happen to Snoop, right? Where someone actually says they're giving up drugs and the rest of the world is like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that was brilliant marketing. Like
Oh,
absolutely
so
brilliant.
what paid him? It was worth it because that video got over 10 million views the first day. And he didn't even post it till like noon.
Shit.
Yeah, and it got like over 10 million views the first day. I couldn't believe it. So I mean, even no matter what they paid him, that company that's one of the most genius marketing things I've seen in 47 years, and I
Yeah.
just love it because like that's damaging his own brand. Even like they had to pay him a bundle. Of
Oh
course, the
yeah.
guy got a good sense of humor anyway. Just see all the interviews and stuff, and all the freaking products he's hawking with Martha Stewart now.
Yeah.
Like it's
Well,
just guy's a genius. He's genius, and that freaking marketing plan for that was it. Solo, I think, is the name of the company. That was absolutely awesome. I just had to bring that up because as a
oh
marketing
yeah.
was freaking when I saw that. It was the
Dude,
last thing I expected.
dude, and I heard that like he even said like you can't believe a fucking thing I say when I'm high.
Yeah. So of course it's turning into an even bigger joke now, and like it's just nuts. Well, then of course every single news place is freaking covering this thing, so that company just got everyone talking. Like
Yeah.
it, so I don't know. They could have paid him 10 million; it would have been worth it.
Oh, no doubt. Uh, so, back to your move, dude. Everything went good with the move. Everything goes
Oh,
smooth.
well, I mean, I jacked up my freaking rotator cuff moving, of course, but that was a given that was going to happen. And then everybody in the family was fighting being sick, like a couple days leading up to the move, and then right after the move, as we got all the boxes into the house, it just hit every. I've avoided it so far. I think I'm finally starting to catch it though, but it's the thing that's going around down here in Wisconsin. Jesus. Everything, but it's some sort of like upper respiratory thing that lasts people like a couple months to get over it. So it's been pretty brutal down here in our house too.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about what we've been dealing with our youngest here. She's been hacking since before our Thanksgiving, before we went on our little camping trip there. Um, and yeah, this past week it got real bad. Um, uh, was it this past? Yeah, this past week. I even ended up sick the one day and taking off a couple of days off work to be with the little one. But fucking last Thursday, I take her into the hospital because she's been having these fucking nosebleeds. So we don't know whether it's dry air or weather changing, this and that, or she's not much of a nose picker, but she does wipe sometimes. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, but like she was having massive fucking nosebleeds. Like we're talking like looks like her fucking nose exploded on her fucking face. It's just like, poof. Um, so it happened the one night. Freaked me right the fuck out because I hate fucking blood. Then next night, fucking, we're putting her to bed. And this is the day that I was homesick, and fucking right before bed, fucking this massive fucking nosebleed again, and fucking, it was like coming out in clots, like
Oh,
big
geez.
fucking clots. We were like, oh, she's freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
Um,
Mention.
we're freaking the fuck out trying to calm her down, but like, shit, what the fuck is going on? That's a lot of blood. So I ended up taking her to Emerge. Thankfully, we literally live about 4 blocks away, so it wasn't far. We got in to Emerge at 8 o'clock, and we were in the waiting room for 2 fucking hours. Like it got to the point where the the little one was just like, "Daddy, I'm super tired. I just want to go home." And I'm like, "I know, sweetheart. Like I don't want to be here either, but we haven't even seen the doctor. We gotta get in still." We were there from 8 o'clock until about quarter to 2 in the morning.
Oh, Jesus.
We never saw a doctor.
Wow.
It got to the point about 1:30. I went and talked to one of the nurses in the hall, and I'm like, "Any idea when we might see a doctor? We've been here since 8 o'clock. Like, I've got a sick little girl right now, and she's curled up on this piece of crap chair because you guys don't even have a bed in this room. It's some like exam chair, and she's all uncomfortable." And I'm like, "Fuck! Like, she's better off at home,
Yeah.
comfortable in her own fucking bed. We can fucking deal with it there. Like, obviously, you guys don't think it's a fucking emergency, so." She's like, "Oh, I'll go check. I'll go check." She comes back. She's like, "Yeah, they're telling me it's going to be another fucking hour." I was like, "Fuck this." I'm like, "No, no, I'm taking her home. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm fucking out." So fucking pack her all up, carry her out to the car, fucking drive home. It's like 2 in the morning. Fucking get her to bed. Fucking next morning, fucking wake up. Of course, gotta fucking stay home with her. Gonna try and get her into the doctor. Fucking, my wife goes to leave for work. The fucking battery is dead on the fucking truck.
Oh, Jesus.
It worked at 2 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning, fucking dead.
Nice.
So thank fuck it worked at 2 in the morning because I did not want to have to carry her 4 blocks in the fucking cold home. Um, but yeah, fucking, that was fucking bizarre. Um, but we ended up getting the youngest in. Sorry, I'll speed up my story. Got the youngest into the fucking doctor the next day. Found out she's got a fucking raging ear infection. So
Oh,
put her on amoxicillin. Fucking, she's still complaining about a sore ear. Like, it was fucking bad, but she never fucking complains
first.
about it. There was like 2 times where she was like, "My ear is sore," and that was that. Like 2 times
Wow.
in like probably who knows how fucking long she's had it. Um, One thing I was impressed though with our hospital here, the Friday, so the day after we left, or same day, they called that night just to follow up and make sure she was okay because
Oh, wow.
they knew we didn't get to see a doctor and that she probably should have. So I was actually impressed. They took the time and called and said, "How is she?" And it was like, got in to see a doctor, got the fucking meds, were good. But
Gee.
fucking sicknesses, man, and fucking sickness is fucking with our kids, man. That
That's
shit's always fucked up.
that's like my youngest. He never gets sick, but when he does, he's down for about a week. And he got this upper respiratory thing. Luckily, he came home with it on Friday, so he
Mhm.
only ended up missing that Monday and Tuesday. So that was not this previous week, the week before. So
Right.
so we only ended up missing a couple days of school. But yeah, it's going around, half the school's wiped out. So
Shit. Oh, it's that fucking time of year though. Like seasons
mhm.
changing and fucking temperatures are changing and fucking with our
Oh yeah,
systems.
everybody at my house has bloody noses too, except me. I'm still the only one that's avoided it. So we got humidifiers running in every freaking room, and
Yeah. Well, we've folks who are watching, Lee and I, we decided that we were gonna watch a couple of movies that we would enjoy and we can shoot the shit about and compare. The two we're talking about are Spider-Man: No Way Home and the new Flash movie. Yeah, Lee Grizz, I'll let you start her off, dude.
well, I figured these would be the two best ones to compare because you got DC versus Marvel, and
Mm-hmm.
you got the two biggest multiverse movies that have been where everybody was waiting so long for to see glimpses of just for the nostalgia's sake alone.
Right.
And for me, I honestly, it's funny. I've never been a big Spider-Man fan. Like I've never. I mean, I've enjoyed every one of the movies. Honestly, I don't know why I'm not really. Why I don't call myself a Spider-Man fan. But like, I don't like. Oh, cool! The new one's coming out. I can't wait to see it. You know. But this one I wanted to see because like I always thought Andrew Garfield. Everybody's gonna hate me on this one. I thought he was the best Spider-Man. So him come back, and I was kind of excited to see Toby come back because he's going to be an adult now. And I always thought he would play the part better as the adult Peter Parker because he never pulled off the snotty teenager right for me.
No,
Like he
no, I
played
agree
the
there.
part, but he wasn't Spider-Man. You know, he never. And I always thought, and same with like Tom Holland, he's the too scared. He doesn't pull off the snottiness. And Andrew Garfield, I just thought was great. So I was excited to see Andrew Garfield. So I actually hadn't seen Far From Home, but I saw No Way Home. So I actually had to go back and end up watching Far From Home. Like I said, I'm not a big Spider-Man fan, but I wanted to see the new one. And as far as Flash goes, that one I was super excited for because, like, I know Ezra Miller's a horrible human being, but
Mm-hmm.
he is far better Flash than the one from the TV series. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this one, but my main reason I don't follow the comic books, so I can't tell you from one to the other as comparison. But for me, I like Ezra Miller's take on it because that character. Because to me, if the guy's body moves that fast, his brain's got to be like the most ADHD riddled freaking sponge on the planet.
Yeah.
And on the TV series, that dude is like calm, cool, and collected and like totally together.
Yeah.
Where Ezra Miller's character is more like Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
Complete mess, and he can't shut his brain down. And I just love that about the character. The little bit that he was in Justice League, or like my favorite was the little cameo at the end of Peacemaker. I don't know if you saw. I don't know if you've watched all of that series.
No, I haven't.
So like just the little bits that I've seen, I couldn't wait for that movie to come out. So that's why I figured it'd be a perfect two for comparison. So of the two, which was your favorite and why?
I have to say No Way Home. Um, I've always liked Marvel a little more than DC. Well, as as an older adult, I've liked the Marvel more than DC. When I was young, I loved fucking Superman and Batman and fucking
Yeah.
Spider-Man and shit. Um, but I I honestly went into it completely blind because I hadn't kept up on it. I didn't know what the fuck the story in that one was going to be or whatever. And fucking, I was like, Jesus, fuck, wait a minute. We got all three fucking Spider-Mans in one fucking, what the fuck is going on? Like, but I loved how they fucking brought in the DC villains, fucking, and like incorporated that.
Yeah.
And I love the fucking how like Tom Holland would be like, "Who the fuck are you?" Like, meanwhile, they're like, "You're not Peter Parker." What the
I think what Marvel did right with No Way Home and that DC failed in Flash was they weren't expecting the villains to have the nostalgia grab that they did. Because like I knew like what's his face, the Goblin. I knew he was going to be in it again. and I seen pictures of Doc Ock
Willem
was,
Dafoe.
but I didn't know like Sandman. I didn't know Jamie Foxx's character. I didn't know the alligator dude. Like I don't even think Marvel had an idea how much that the villain still played a part in that nostalgia. Like I knew all three Spider-Men were going to be in it, and I was stoked enough about that and getting to see Osborn again and stuff. So like I was like, that'll be pretty cool. I had no idea how many villains they were going to bring back, and that was genius. And that's where I think the Flash really dropped the ball. Yeah, we knew it was going to be Michael Keaton. They advertised that, so there was no other really big surprises in that movie. And that's where it really fell short for me. I was so excited about that. And then I was like, wah, wah. Like, it was good, but it wasn't what I was hoping for at all.
Yeah.
And spoiler alerts always, anytime we talk about movies, we're going to talk about it right up to the end of it. So if you haven't seen it, they've been out a while. But like, I did like when, I won't say, I'll say it, but I did like the surprise at the end of Flash when Bruce Wayne switched.
Yeah.
That was cool, but of all the ones like they could have brought to me it still fell short though, because it was obviously the one that nobody was ever expecting, but for good reason. Nobody liked him.
Yeah.
It's like you can't just throw nostalgia for nostalgia's sake. Sometimes it doesn't work, especially when it wasn't in the movie that much either. I mean, granted, getting to see Michael Keaton as Batman again and Bruce Wayne was absolute. That made it worth watching. I know I'll watch it again, but definitely not my favorite DC movie at all.
No, if anything, it just makes me want to go watch that Michael Keaton Batman with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, like doing the whole multiverse, they could have done the same thing. And I mean, it could have just been a ripoff of No Way Home. They could have had you know what I mean? Bring back old villains from all the different Tim Burton movies and shit like that would have been brilliant. You know, the same way. I mean, it's an alternate universe. They didn't die. Okay, cool. Imagine Jack Nicholson popping up on the screen as Jack Napier again. Oh my God.
Yeah, that'd be fucked. That'd be crazy.
But yeah, no, I loved. And my favorite part of No Way Home, I'm such a girl, was when Garfield saved MJ and kind of, made up for losing his girl. So it was like, I got all teary-eyed on that. I ain't going to lie. I make the room when I watch that. In other words, he makes fun of me.
Oh, shit. I can't blame you. There's definitely scenes that I see in movies that kind of like choke you up a bit, and I'm not gonna lie, might have shed a tear or two or 5 million.
Okay. It's off topic, but it's still movies. One of them that gets me, and I'll never understand why, is Empire Records. You've seen that, right?
Yep.
Okay, when the band's playing on the freaking canopy and Renee Zellweger gets up to the microphone and sings, I don't know why that scene just gives me goosebumps and gets me all choked up. I don't know what it is about that freaking scene at Empire Records, but it gets me every time. And I know I'm not the only one, because I actually had to talk about this with a couple other friends, and they were the same way. They're like, I don't get it.
See, I get that feeling when dude's eating the brownies, man, and watching the Guar.
That's just one of the best movies ever.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not Banning Day.
Oh man.
Okay, so back to Marvel DC.
Yeah.
So let's just keep talking about that. What's your favorite Marvel movie and what's your favorite DC? If you can't pick, what's a couple of your favorites?
Well, I'm a huge fucking Deadpool fan. Ryan Reynolds, fucking Deadpool, fucking.
Well, you can't count Deadpool. That's everybody's favorite, other than Deadpool, because that's obviously. Well, actually, on Deadpool though, because my son always wanted to watch him, but you're way too young. I mean, all the violence, the swearing, whatever. He's a good kid. I just think any of the sex stuff, if there's anything like that in the movie, you don't get to watch it. Sorry. So when they came out with that PG-13 one, the Once Upon a Deadpool, I bought that as soon as it came out. I honestly liked that better than the original Deadpool 2, because it was done so well to make it PG-13, and they cut so much, and then they would talk about, like, it was done so well. It was so funny. I thought that was absolutely great.
I don't think I've ever heard of that. Once Upon a Deadpool?
Yeah, it's called Once Upon a Deadpool, and it's Deadpool 2 cut down to PG-13.
Hmm.
But no, spoiler alert, it starts out with him kidnapping Fred Savage, and he's telling Fred Savage the story of Deadpool 2. So it's like him reading to him. So that's why it's Once Upon a Deadpool. It's a whole like
Yeah. Yeah, like Princess Bride.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And he actually has him dressed up like Princess Bride, like
I
he did
love it.
right in the same room and everything. That's how Fred Savage.
No Columbo though.
Yeah, you've got to freaking watch that one. It's actually better than. And I've seen the part 2 and the part 2 severely unrated or whatever it's called. And actually, the PG-13 one is my favorite. It makes me laugh that much harder.
I'll have to check it out for sure. For sure. So, Deadpool aside, shit. Who would be my favorite Marvel? Fuck.
For me, I would have to say, as far as the movies go, well, other than No Way Home, because that one's just too new. Like my overall favorite though would probably have to be the first Ant-Man movie.
Oh, that was fun.
Because
Yeah.
for starters, it was a character I didn't know anything about. I never even knew there was an Ant-Man until they were making a movie. Like I said, I was never really big that kind of comic guy. I was more Tank Girl, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, and all like the weird underground comic stuff, you know. Or or it was like the stuff on Image Comics like Spawn and Pit. You know, so I never really got into the comic stuff. So which works great as an adult. So then the MCU is just all new characters to me. I can't be like, oh, I don't like that because it doesn't go with the origin story from issue whatever. I don't know any of that. So going into it blind is so much better. And Ant-Man, I just think with Paul Rudd, it was one of the funniest Marvel movies, and that's what I love is the comedy of it. Probably why I like Guardians, the first one too. The first one was way better than the other two.
Yeah, I know I've seen the other two, but yeah, I don't.
Memorable to me. They weren't. No. The first one was. Did you watch the Christmas special?
Yes.
Actually, sit down and watch it again tonight, and when we get done, that was absolutely with Kevin Bacon. That was one of the great things Marvel has ever done. I absolutely loved it, especially because it was done so tongue in cheek because of the history of the notorious history of the old Star Wars Christmas special. That was a show from, what was it, late 70s. So you know it was done tongue-in-cheek since they're all owned by the same company now. And the fact they pulled it off and did it, it was great. That was so funny. And that goddamn Christmas song might be the best Christmas song ever written.
Yeah, we watched that last year. We actually came across it just the other night on screen. It's like, and I think we started to watch it again. It's like, yeah,
I've been watching Christmas movies all week. I'm driving the family nuts. As soon as Halloween's over, man, I'm playing Mariah Carey around the house, man. I'm that guy.
Dude, we've had our fucking tree up for like the past week. So like,
love it.
Yeah, we've already got presents under there and everything. The kiddos are already getting excited. Youngest one's counting down the fucking days to December 1st so she can start opening her fucking advent calendar.
They got some cool advent calendars now, man. Anything that you're into, they've got advent calendars for.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty cool. The Lego ones, they got Hot Wheels ones.
Yeah. For the past like 3-4 years, for our oldest, he's got Lego ones with like Lego Guardians of the Galaxy or Star Wars or whatever. This year he's got Super Mario one. So he gets little plastic figures each day. The youngest, she's all about LOLs, these little fucking dolls. And we found an advent calendar that gives her a little LOL baby every fucking day for 24 fucking days. So you know I'm gonna be stepping on those motherfuckers.
Not.
But things we do for our kids, we love them. But yeah, she's counting down the days. She's like, Daddy, how many more days? 6 more days? 6 more days. Hey, yeah. How many more days till Christmas? Fucking half the time she doesn't even care about how many more days till Christmas. It's just, get me to my advent calendar.
See, our kids are the total opposite. And trust me, I'm not bragging, but they're the most materialistic kids I've ever met on the planet. And it's annoying. And we raise them to be unmaterial. Like if we want something, we buy it. You know, like I mean, like the kids, we never buy. Well, they were for starters, they never play with toys. They were just kids that never really did toys. They wouldn't really do action figures. Like Johnny loved Lego, but other than that, like so they're incredibly impossible to buy for. So like everybody's and it's so yeah, it's good to have kids that are like a little bit materialistic because when they're not, it's impossible. It's like where do you want your gift cards from? Because I have no idea what to get you because you don't.
You go get your shit.
And it's just, oh my God, as a parent, not being able to like figure out what you want to get your kid. It's not like, oh, I can't choose between them. What you're which present to get is like, I have no idea even what one present I should even get. And well, Johnny's easy though sometimes because anything weird he likes, like he's got inflatable turkeys. I mean, like cooked rotisserie, like chickens. He has like inflatable rotisserie chickens,
I love it.
Well, rubber chickens and like chef's hats and like anything weird and off the wall. He absolutely loves it. So we can get by with that a little bit, but you don't want to spend a couple $100 on just really weird random shit. Imagine the person up that order at Amazon, like what the hell?
Speaking of rubber chickens, I know that you know about this, but I don't know if our viewers have seen, but we got a new rubber chicken in the house.
I've got
that motherfucker, a giant tiger.
I've got one. I can't find my big one. He's packed away in a box still.
Soon enough. Soon enough, he'll be all unpacked and ready to rock and roll.
Hey, so let's get back to Marvel and DC again.
Yeah, for sure.
Marvel. What would your favorite Marvel be then? You think?
Favorite Marvel. I would have to say fucking like Wolverine's like series and Logan, anything Wolverine.
Yeah.
I again, like you, never was a comic dude. I maybe owned one or two in my life. Too much fucking reading, not enough pictures, which is funny because it's all pictures. But yeah, I never really got into it. But there was a time when I was like, early teens or whatever, where I was kind of getting into Marvel. I think my older stepbrother, I think he was really into it and the cards and shit. So I kind of got into it a bit more, but it was like X-Men kind of fucking shit. And obviously I took a liking to Wolverine, and I know a little bit of his backstory at least. Like.
Oh, if you get into the X-Men, did you ever read the Obnoxio the Clown issue?
No.
Oh my God, Obnoxio is one of my favorite characters ever, and I think that was the only issue he was ever in. He was a homicidal, like serial killer clown, but just dressed like a normal clown, so it was that much creepier. And
John Wayne Gacy.
Him killing the freaking X-Men. And oh my God, yeah, look it up. You can still get the issues for pretty cheap, like under $10 on eBay. You got to get that one. And oh my God, if you like X-Men, you got to look up Obnoxio the Clown.
Obnoxio the Clown.
It up and send you a link, but yeah, it is one of my favorite books. See, that's the weird shit I was into. If I got into Marvel when I was Howard the Duck, or
I loved Howard the Duck, the movie, man.
Oh, the Howard the Duck movie, dude! I've got it on VHS still.
I wish I had it on DVD so I could watch it.
Oh God, because I don't think it's even available to buy on any streaming service. Maybe,
probably.
Actually, if it is, I would check Tubi. Tubi would probably have Howard the Duck on there. They have all those cult classics like that. A lot of trauma stuff and.
Yeah, Howard the Duck, man. I remember watching that like quite often when I was young, like way too young to catch half the shit they were saying.
One of the Marvel movies had him in it, remember? They had the post-credit scene. He was in the post-credit scene with the Collector, I think.
I feel like it was an Avengers movie.
I think so.
Like, yeah, shit.
Yeah. They kept hinting that they were going to be rebooting and doing another Howard the Duck, but then it kept falling through because nobody was interested in it. Just a few of us old weirdos that still want to see Howard the Duck come back onto the MCU.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised with all the fucking furries out there and whatnot. Why are they not petitioning for Howard the Duck?
Oh, I'm just glad DC's doing another Venom movie.
Dude, we just watched like the latest Venom movie
Yeah,
where
which movie? Oh,
he's like living with Venom. We were like, we could not get into it. We left it on the entire time, but I think we talked through the entire fucking
oh,
movie. It
really?
was just like
Oh my God, I love.
it had funny fucking moments in it for sure because of the tongue in cheek with fucking Venom just
Oh,
being.
that was my favorite part of the whole movie. Oh, that's why I'm excited about having the third one because the freaking first and second one, I still probably watch those once a month. That's
Well,
those and the first Shazam movie are probably some of my favorite DC movies. Well, of course, I mean the new Suicide Squad. That was absolutely brilliant.
yeah,
And honestly, I'm one of the few I really, really like the freaking Harley Quinn movie, Birds of Prey.
we have not watched that one.
It got just blasted in the freaking reviews. Like nobody liked it. I think it was one of the better ones they did. Like
Oh,
it was
really?
really entertaining.
Hmm. Well, maybe I'll have to check that out, and we'll have to shoot the shit and talk about that. If I can
Yeah, it's a,
see why people are fucking blasting it.
all the other DC movies.
Mhm. Yeah,
Uh,
fuck. Yeah, no, I didn't really hear much about the Birds of Prey movie, like
yeah,
any.
it didn't get it. They didn't really promote it much, and it pretty failed at the box office. But it's a really good movie. It's funny as hell.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's done real tongue in cheek because you got to remember how even like in the Suicide Squad, how goofy they made Harley Quinn, and just take that character, give her an entire movie. Like it's not done in chronological order. It's skipping around because she's telling the story and she's so scatterbrained.
Right.
So the movie's jumping around like this and shit like that. So it's pretty funny.
Okay. All right.
But did you ever see the Shazam movies?
I did see the first one. Yeah.
The first
Um.
one was really good. Like I know it was geared towards kids and stuff, but that's me and my son. We watched that one probably more than any other DC movie. Actually,
Yeah.
that one was really done well. That was pretty funny. The second one was good. It wasn't nearly. I was kind of disappointed in the second one, actually, because I love the first one so much. It was one of my favorite DC movies, like I said. So when they came out with it, I was like, yeah, I mean, it's cool. They got the characters, but it fell way short for me.
Speaking of Shazam, what did you think of Black Adam?
Terrible.
Yeah.
I did not.
He.
I did not care. I was excited because The Rock. It's like he's perfect. He looks like a superhero.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. They don't even have CGI that shit.
Yeah, and I was super excited about it because he's a good. Actually, I just watched a movie with him in it tonight. CIA, that one with him and Kevin Hart. Like he's
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
that's why he was such a great wrestler. But yeah, that freaking Black Adam movie was just it fell short. And they should have tied it in with the Shazam universe, and they could have just done movie after movie, and I think it would have been great. But the
Yeah.
fact that they shut out that whole universe, even though it's part of this, yeah, well, I was not impressed with it. I was really excited going into that one too.
Yeah. See, I didn't know really the story behind Black Adam, so for me, I didn't find it that bad. Like, I found it tolerable to sit through and enjoyed some of the fight scenes and shit. And, but yeah, I mean, I read some reviews and comments and whatnot on the internet that were like, they were along the same lines as you. They were like, wasn't impressed, and I think The Rock even took a little bit of backlash on it. Like,
Yeah, he did because he was one of them. From what I understand, is he was one of them that pushed for it to be its own universe, basically, and then it kind of failed miserably because of what they tried to do with it, make it its own special thing. It fell flat because I don't think it did. I don't remember how great it did in the box office. I don't remember hearing it about it at all.
yeah.
Honestly, when it came out. So
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. There's some movies that just shouldn't be fucking made. Um, yeah.
what did Okay, speaking of, there we go. What did you think of what's the um Captain Marvel? Did you
Didn't
ever
even didn't
did you
even watch it.
see? I watched the first one, but it's total '90s nostalgia. So for that alone, it was really good. It was really entertaining, just for the freaking '90s nostalgia in it.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't know that going in. I was like, we haven't watched it. It was leading into another big movie, so it was coming up. I'm like, let's watch it just so we're all caught up on that whole stage 4, season 4, whatever they call it, fourth,
Right.
whatever. And so we were watching it, and I'm like, oh my god, it's actually really good. I've heard the new one's terrible though. That the Marvels or whatever it's called.
Oh, okay.
I've heard that one is not good at all.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know what DC's doing. Like even the Aquaman shit, like you,
Oh yeah,
like
I try. See, like we've talked though, I'm not a big sci-fi or fantasy guy. So even like the Marvel stuff, I like the stuff that seems not quite. If it takes place on Earth, basically, I'm usually okay with it.
yeah.
Once they start going into underground worlds and freaking underwater worlds or out into outer space, I lose interest really quick. You know?
You want the real life shit.
Yeah. Where it's more realistic, where it seems more relatable to me, at least that way,
Yeah.
I mean, Ant-Man or freaking Venom isn't exactly relatable, but I mean, I don't know. I can relate to Venom for that character. I argue with myself a lot.
I do, but it's all in here and not near as fucking funny.
Well, I literally do argue with myself out loud. And my wife, like, we were watching the Venom, and she's like, "Is this why you laugh at this movie so hard?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty much me."
Well, one movie I will suggest check out if you get a chance. I actually watched the whole thing through. It's got some slow parts to it, but it's called The Killer.
Okay, just saw that pop up on Netflix. Actually, I've got it on my list, man.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's moments where it's kind of slower, but I mean it's because he's playing the waiting game kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So like you
Cool.
just got, but
I
it's
just put it on my list today.
yeah,
It's Josh Hamm or John Hamm, right?
yeah, yeah. It was really good. Like I mean it definitely ended how I suspected it was gonna end, but at the same, it kind of reminded me of like a fucking John Wick kind of fucking thing.
That's cool.
Only kind of like John Wick playing the fucking long game, you know. So yeah, it was cool. There's some good scenes in that and some good fucking gunfights and shit. Yeah, yeah. But I think we shall call her a fucking night. But thank you to everybody who's tuned in to watch Rubber Chickens and Scabs and listen to us just babbling fucking nonsense. We love you, fucking Grizz. Love you, dude. Fucking we will.
Everybody, thanks for tuning in.
We will be back soon, and until then, keep it real. Peace out.
See ya.
All right. Cheers.